Beyond the raids and battles, discover the true essence of Viking culture, a story of remarkable craftsmanship, profound beliefs, and enduring legacy. The Vikings, often misunderstood, were more than just fearsome warriors. They were skilled craftsmen, seafaring explorers, and democratic lawmakers. Their society was complex, their culture rich, and their impact on history undeniable. Today, we'll debunk the myths and misconceptions, shedding light on a society that was far more sophisticated than it's often portrayed. Unveil the untold story of the Vikings with us. Often portrayed as ruthless raiders, the Vikings were much more. Let's debunk some myths. First, let's talk about their legal system. Yes, you heard it right. The Vikings had a democratic assembly called the Thing. Every free man could attend these gatherings, where disputes were settled and laws were made. They even had a unique position called law speaker, who memorized and recited the law. So the Vikings were not just fierce warriors, but also democratic lawmakers. Now let's sail to another myth. The Vikings are famed for their seafaring prowess, and rightly so. But their skills were not just limited to raiding and pillaging. They were master navigators and shipbuilders. Their longships, sleek and fast, were marvels of the ancient world. They used these vessels not just for warfare, but also for exploration, trade, and even fishing. With an intimate knowledge of the sea and the stars, they ventured further than any European had before them. Their seafaring skills played a pivotal role in connecting different parts of the world, fostering trade and cultural exchange. So, the next time you think of Vikings, remember, they were not just horned, helmet-wearing, axe-wielding warriors. They were also skilled seafarers, democratic lawmakers, and explorers. They had a complex society with sophisticated legal systems and advanced maritime technology. The Vikings were not just warriors but also skilled seafarers and democratic lawmakers. Life in the Viking Age was not all about raiding and pillaging. It was a time when the fertile lands of Scandinavia echoed with the rhythmic beat of hammers shaping iron, the hum of looms weaving intricate textiles, and the splash of oars cutting through the icy waves of the North Sea. The Vikings, often depicted as fierce warriors, were in fact a society of skilled farmers. The majority of them lived off the land, tilling the soil and raising livestock. From the grains they harvested, they baked bread and brewed beer. From the cattle, sheep, and goats they reared, they produced milk, cheese, and meat that sustained them through the harsh winters. Viking society was also deeply engaged in trade. They were not just explorers and raiders but merchants as well. They exchanged goods like fur, leather, iron, and even slaves for precious items such as silver, silk, and spices. These trades took them across vast distances, from the bustling markets of Baghdad to the icy shores of Greenland. But perhaps the most striking aspect of Viking life was their extraordinary craftsmanship. The same hands that wielded the sword with deadly precision could also coax beautiful shapes from wood and metal. Viking blacksmiths were renowned for their ability to create weapons and tools of exceptional quality, while their shipbuilders designed vessels that were the envy of the known world. Viking artistry wasn't limited to practical items. They crafted intricate jewelry, carved elaborate wooden posts, and even wove complex patterns into their textiles. Many of these artifacts, preserved over centuries, still captivate us with their beauty and complexity. Viking craftsmanship was not merely a display of skill, it was a reflection of their beliefs and values. Every hammer stroke, every chisel mark, every thread woven was imbued with meaning. They believed that their craft connected them to the divine, and so they approached it with reverence and devotion. The Vikings, known for their craftsmanship, were also farmers, traders, and explorers. Their daily life, far from the stereotype of ruthless raiders, was a tapestry of routines, crafts, and voyages that still echoes in the landscape, the artifacts, and the culture of the Nordic countries today. The Vikings' belief system was complex and profound. This is a statement that holds true when we delve into the fascinating world of Norse mythology. This belief system was deeply woven into the fabric of Viking culture, influencing their understanding of the world, their rituals, and even their conduct in battle. Norse mythology is a rich tapestry of tales and legends, peopled by an intriguing pantheon of gods and goddesses. From the mighty Odin, the Allfather, to the thunderous Thor and the enchanting Freya. These deities were not just figures of worship, but were also intrinsic to the Vikings' perception of life, death, and the cosmos. These gods and their stories were not confined to the realm of the supernatural. They were a part of the Vikings' everyday life, their celebrations, and their hardships. They held feasts in their honor, sought their guidance in times of uncertainty, and invoked their protection in times of war. Archaeological finds like runestones and temple remnants offer us a glimpse into this vibrant religious life of the Vikings. Runestones, large stones carved with runic inscriptions, were often used as memorials for the dead. They also served as a canvas for the Vikings to etch their tales, their victories, their beliefs, and their tributes to the gods. Temple remnants, on the other hand, indicate places of worship and ritual sacrifice. These were sacred spaces where the Vikings could commune with their gods, seek their blessings, and offer their thanks. These temples were not just physical structures, but were also symbolic representations of the cosmos, as envisaged in Norse mythology. The Icelandic sagas, a collection of historical narratives and heroic epics, further illuminate the rich mythology and religious practices of the Vikings. Written in the Old Norse language, these sagas are not just tales of valor and adventure. They are also a testament to the complex belief system that guided the Vikings, a belief system that was deeply spiritual, profoundly philosophical, and remarkably resilient. The Icelandic sagas and runestones stand testament to the rich mythology and religious practices of the Vikings. These are not mere relics of the past, but are vibrant threads in the complex tapestry of human history, offering us a glimpse into a culture that was far more than just raids and battles. The Vikings were explorers, reaching far-off lands long before other Europeans. Striking out from their homelands, the Vikings navigated treacherous seas and explored uncharted territories. These voyages took them far and wide, from the icy shores of Greenland to the lush landscapes of North America, a feat achieved centuries before Columbus set sail. Their voyages were not just about exploration, but also about survival. The Vikings were seafarers, and their journeys were driven by a need for resources, an ambition for wealth, and an insatiable curiosity about the world. The sea was their highway, and their long ships were their chariots. These vessels, with their sleek design and shallow draft, were perfectly suited to both the open ocean and the shallow rivers, enabling the Vikings to travel far inland and establish settlements. Their navigational skills were remarkable, considering they did not have the compass or sextant. Instead, they relied on landforms, wildlife, celestial bodies, and the movement of the ocean currents. They even had a unique device called a sunstone, which helped them locate the sun in overcast conditions, or when it was near the horizon. But these voyages were not without their challenges. The Vikings had to endure harsh weather, treacherous seas, and hostile natives. Yet, they persevered, driven by their thirst for exploration and their indomitable spirit. The Vikings, brave explorers, set foot on Greenland and North America centuries before Columbus. The Vikings' influence extends far beyond the Viking Age. This warrior society, often mischaracterized as merely pillagers and raiders, left an enduring mark on the world, shaping modern culture, languages, and even our genetic makeup. Their legacy is woven into the fabric of our lives in ways we often overlook. Intriguingly, the English language owes a debt to the Vikings, with common words like sky, egg, and window tracing their origins back to Old Norse. Our understanding of democracy has also been influenced by the Vikings' Thing, an assembly where free men could voice their opinions. Even our genes tell tales of Viking influence. Recent studies suggest that many Europeans carry Viking DNA, a testament to their far-reaching voyages and settlements. So the next time you look up at the sky or peer through a window, remember the Vikings. Their legacy is not just in the annals of history, but in our everyday lives. The influence of the Vikings is still evident in our modern society. Viking artifacts continue to reshape our understanding of their culture. Take, for instance, the recent reinterpretations of the so-called Valkyrie figurines. Initially believed to depict the mythical warrior maidens from Norse lore, these intricate sculptures are now thought to represent everyday Viking women. With their cloaks billowing like wings and weapons in hand, these figures symbolize the strength and resilience of Viking women in their society. Then, there are the runestones, long misunderstood as mere grave markers. But recent studies suggest they also served as territorial markers and memorials to heroic deeds. Amidst the carved symbols, we find tales of travels, trades, and tributes. Or consider the mysterious Mjolnir pendants. Once thought to be simple amulets of Thor's hammer, they're now understood to also serve as powerful declarations of faith during the Christianization of Scandinavia. These artifacts offer a glimpse into the sophisticated and complex world of the Vikings. The Vikings were not just raiders and pillagers, but a society of complexity and innovation. Their legacy lives on in our modern world, from language to culture, and even in our DNA. They were explorers, artists, lawmakers, and traders. Their influence stretched far beyond their Nordic homelands, shaping the course of history. So let's remember them for what they truly were, not just as warriors, but as pioneers of their time. Join us in reimagining the Viking era, a time of complexity, innovation, and far-reaching influence.